Figure. A while back, there's been talks about adding Figure to Roblox Forsaken. In today's video, we'll be talking about everything we know about Figure, if it's getting added to Forsaken, and think of some cool ideas on how it would work in Forsaken. If you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100k by the end of the year. Disclaimer, this whole video is a theory video and trying to predict if Figure will be in Forsaken. This does not confirm that Figure will be in Forsaken. This is just my predictions. So please don't go harass any of the developers because of this video. Figure is a tall, creepy, fleshy monster that makes an appearance in the Roblox game Doors. In Doors, your main objective is to escape the hotel by going through, of course, a bunch of doors. Figure is one of the enemies you face off indoors. The way to counter Figure is to crouch. This is because Figure is a blind creature that fully depends on sound. And that's pretty much the basics that you need to know about Figure. Now, Forsaken likes collabs. The game already received a few cool collabs, including Flood Escape 2, Get a Snack at 4 AM, and the upcoming Isle collab. Same thing goes towards Roblox Doors. This game has also collabed with a bunch of other games, including Untitled Tag Game and Tower Heroes. This pretty much means that both games do like collabing, and hopefully this increases the chances of a potential Doors and Forsaken collab. The Forsaken developers have actually had ideas of Figure being in the game before release. They made the Figure model and even an icon for him. Sadly though, this was really one-sided. The Forsaken developers made a cool model for Figure, but sadly could never use him because they never asked the Doors developers for permission. And because of this one reason, Figure simply got left behind while Forsaken kept growing and growing. But there is a little bit of hope for Figure. Back in April of 2025, Elsplash, the owner of Doors, made a Q&A, and one of these questions were about Forsaken and if Doors would collab. Elsplash actually replied to this question with a GIF. If I speak, big trouble. I mean, this could mean anything. Maybe he means that if he speaks about it, people will get mad at him, or maybe this means something is happening but he simply can't talk about it. I really don't know, but I'm leaning towards the answer of something could happen. If there was no collab planned, I feel like Elsplash simply would have said that there are no plans on collabing with Forsaken. I guess I'll leave it up to you guys to speculate in the comments.
But Figure was one of the first killers to be considered in the roster during the early stages of this game, the Baby Damnation days. And the way his ability would work actually was really unique, which was what made me very hyped for him. Figure's not unconfirmed, so I'm not going to mention his ability entirely, because you never know, and I don't want to spoil his ability. But his ability was a very unique, it was very unique. It basically went off of him being blind, and that's how his playstyle would work. That's what I really liked about it. That's the only sneak peek you will get about his ability, because it was really cool. I really liked the way it looked.
Makes a lot of sense, right? Figure is blind, so the Figure killer should also be blind. Let's think of a moveset for Figure. Starting off with the passive, of course Figure will mostly be blind. Here's a small mock-up of how I think everything would look like as Figure in Brandon Works, in Horror Hotel, and in Assassin Grounds. This wouldn't be his only passive though. His second passive would be something to do with sound. Anytime anyone runs, takes damage, does a generator, falls from a high place, or anything that pretty much does sound will result in Figure being able to see you for about 3 seconds. They would most likely be highlighted like the John Doe X-ray ability. So the way to avoid Figure is to simply walk. Walking wouldn't result in sound unless you are really close to Figure. I think same can go towards your other actions. For example, if you're across the map and making noise, Figure can't see you because of the big distance. Hopefully that made sense. Moving on to the abilities. Echolocation. This ability would simply grant Figure vision for a short time and even an extra speed boost. Simple as that. Figure's second ability could be a trap-like ability. Indoors, there are enemies called Gloombats, and if you step on Gloombats' eggs, they break and the Gloombats get mad at you and start dealing damage. In Forsaken, this could work like the John Doe digital footstep ability. Figure would spawn in Gloombat eggs, and if the survivor steps on them, they start taking damage and the Gloombats constantly make sound, so the player is visible to Figure until the Gloombat's effect goes away. And the final ability would be an ability that would grab the survivor and throw them. The way to grab the survivor would be something similar to how you grab a survivor with the Jason Gashing Rune ability. A really cool concept that I like indoors is once you're next to figure and you go into a locker, a small little heartbeat minigame appears where you have to click Q and E. I think adding this somehow into Forsaken would also be really cool. Maybe once figure picks you up, you have to quickly click Q and E, and if you fail to do that, you'll take extra damage. I don't know, something cool like that to spice it up. Moving on to the M1. This one would deal a lot of damage, most likely somewhere around 30 to 35. And figure's running speed could be something similar to John Doe's. And that's pretty much it for the figure concept. Simply to avoid figure, you need to play the game really slow and really sneaky. Hopefully as killer, the game would also still be really fun to play. And finally, we can talk about the figure skins. We have the classics, the first version of figure, and the buff figure. Of course, we have to have these two. We could also bring in the figure from the April Fool's 2023 version. These three are definitely a must. And a cool idea for the milestone skins could be figure getting crucified. If done correctly, this could make for some really cool milestone skins. Simply, each milestone skin would get figure more and more crucified. And that's pretty much it. Currently, figure is in limbo. No one knows anything about it and if it will be getting added to Forsaken, but hopefully we'll get some news on figure soon enough. And if not, I guess figure will be left forgotten forever.